There we go. I was beginning to wonder if that was going to happen. All right, we had a few people waiting before. Let's see if they pop on here. Get everybody in here. All right, I saw Rhonda in the other one, so hopefully she'll pop up here pretty quick. How's everybody doing? Yeah, internet wasn't cooperating this morning. You press a little button and there's this, okay, going live, a little spinning wheel, and the little spinning wheel just kept spinning. Usually it only goes for 5 seconds or so, but after 45 seconds, I say, okay, well, that's what happens sometimes. Las Vegas is probably warmer there than it is here. It's pretty hot here. Hi, Laura Lee. There's Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. We got these new TV trays here, and they're a little bit more wobbly. Hi, Dave and Terry. How are you? I am doing well. How's my Sunday? Well, it's just starting out, so to be determined. You can see Nibble coming out here a little bit, making her appearance. They hear the air conditioning coming on, they heard a click, and they both turned their head. How many amusement parks in Texas? I don't know. I know there's a Six Flags up in Dallas area. I'm not really an amusement park kind of person. I got over that when I worked for Disney, if I ever had it in the first place. And Nibble's on her way back to her room now. You know what? This is bugging me. I'm going to switch TV trays. Hang on a second. We're going to go mobile briefly here. This one's a little bit more stable here. Maybe we won't bounce around so much because it's bugging me. I've got to be making you guys see sort of stuff. Let's do this the right way here. That was a mouse. This TV tray can be used for the mouse tray, but we want to have a little bit more stable of an image here. Let's see if that's going to do any better. I think that's better. How are we doing? Yeah, that's my micro wrestling t-shirt. Rides make you sick. So when the computer's doing this, that probably isn't helping matters either, huh? It's like riding a roller coaster. Only you got the added disadvantage of having to look at this mug. Talk about making you sick, right? Okay, so you especially get the joke then about the wiggling table, huh? Good day in Ohio. Yeah, we got a heat wave that's blowing through here. However, we're supposed to maybe have some rain come through tomorrow, so I don't know. Fingers crossed. Hey, look who's back. Actually, I just popped him on the head here. That's why he jumped. Yeah, it's your cat, Logan. And every time he shakes his head, he sprays drool all over the place. You can have that part of it, Logan. Let him drool all over you. It's been a pretty dry summer here so far. Usually, when we get into this, every week or so, you'll get a little rain that'll blow through. We're kind of like, I guess they call it monsoon season. But I don't know. I think of monsoon as something like, it starts raining and it goes for weeks and weeks and weeks. No, you get with the storms you get here, it rains for 15, 20 minutes really, really intensely, and then it's over. Yeah, I like both of them, both of the kitties. Even though Nibble isn't very affectionate, she's still a sweet little kitty, and she shows her affection in her way. She just doesn't like to be handled. Yeah, it's been hovering at or above 100 degrees here now for about 2 weeks. And I'm looking at the calendar, I'm looking at the weather, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. Yeah, they're nice kitties. I think I'll keep them. Somehow, when I set everything up today, I've made my water out of reach. That's no good. I got to be able to reach it. That's just not good showmanship if I have to reach off camera to grab my water, right? My vodka. Russian water, yeah, maybe. Hopefully, you have air conditioning at job. I'll tell you, that was the one requirement that I had for any job. I was done working outside. It's too hot in the summer. It's too cold in the winter. I wouldn't want either of those. As you know, I worked at Disney for a long time, and it was mostly an outdoor job. So, that was nice though because it was never really horribly hot like it is now. And I'm too old. I'm too old for that. Every once in a while, I got to go outside just for a little bit, and I'm glad when I get back in. Any mini trips planned in Texas? I took a mini trip last week that you'll see in a couple of days. That I think is going to be a cool video. Hope you like that one. Does it get humid in Waco? Yes, yes, very much so. But I'm not as sensitive to the humidity as a lot of people are. A lot of people get out it and just say, "Ugh, I can't stand being out here." It's like I can deal with it. Maybe I was just supposed to be here, because the humidity all comes in off the Gulf. Flash loves the heat. Yeah, I came home last night. We went out to dinner last night at work with us at work because a friend was transferring, got a promotion into another department. We wanted to celebrate with him, and and went out and did that. And when I got home about 9 o'clock every night, I'm still to the point where I want to go out and make sure I know where she is, make sure she's safe, make sure she didn't somehow find some way out of the yard or get herself into something she can't get herself out of. And so, I still try and want to make sure that the yard is flash safe. And went out looking for her last night, and she was still out like at 9 o'clock wandering around. So she seems to do just well in the heat. Super curly hair, so humidity makes it massive. Yeah, see, I don't have that problem. I don't have enough hair left anyway. You probably noticed that if you've ever watched me put the camera on a tripod and then look down and work on something in front of me. Do my coworkers know I own a pool? Yeah, I guess some of them do. We've talked about it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've thought about that, but at this point, we're just gonna. I don't really want to attach anything to her permanently. In fact, in a video, I talked a little bit about this last week um, on the live stream about maybe doing a day in the life of Flash. Well, I actually did a day in the life of Flash last Sunday after the live stream, and I actually put a GoPro on her and then just let her wander around the yard. So there's a video coming up on Tuesday that you'll see that is that. And I thought it was a pretty fun video. A lot of people can't seem to get enough of Flash, so that should give you a nice little Flash fix for a while there. It is a 12-hour shift. The work is sometimes repetitive, but I'm kind of getting promoted enough now that they're letting me do different things. And when you do, when you get to do different things, it makes it a little easier to deal with. Some days I may be working on the line, some days I may be doing other things. So variety kind of keeps it interesting. And I've told my boss that about me. I'll get bored doing the same thing over and over again. And my boss has done a really great job of helping things keep interesting. So I like the place. I'll keep going. Do I miss Disneyland's Dole Whip? Honestly, I've never had one. I never was a big Disney person before I worked there. Before I worked there, it'd probably been 15 or 20 years since I'd even been in the park. And just never was that big a thing with me. And then working there, I mean, for a while I'd go there, in the first 6 months or so, you go to Disneyland a lot because you can, but you kind of get it burned out of you too, and you don't want to do it as much anymore. And even when I did go in those early days, I didn't go and spend a whole lot of money because at that time I wasn't making a lot of money. The big fringe benefit I got was getting into the park for free. So basically, I just say, some evening, hey, what do I want to do tonight? Let's go to Disneyland. And I'd go ride the rides and all the stuff I could do for free, which was basically everything except the, food or stuff like that. Because, I could flash my badge and get into the parking for free. I could flash my badge, get into the park for free, and just spend the evening, hanging out and riding rides. And it wouldn't cost a thing except the gas to drive back and forth. Yeah, I really appreciate this guy, especially after the bosses I had at Disneyland. And even the boss I had before that, was didn't really stand up as first people the way he should have. Have I ever had any mishaps driving a float at Disney? No, not really. Um, Not well. I mean, not like accidents or something like that. I will tell you one story because it was kind of cool because I got to be the hero at the end. I was driving a float at the California Adventure Park. I used to work at a parade called the Pixar Play Parade, so it was based on all the Pixar movies. So I was driving a float based on the Finding Nemo float, and there was a little bug in this float. What they had is, as a safety feature, they did this on all the floats, but there's little red buttons all the way around the float, and you hit one of those buttons anytime, and the float stops immediately. So it's a safety feature. It's an emergency stop to stop the float in case something goes wrong. And, because oftentimes in those floats, you get really, really horrible visibility. Well, this particular float, the Finding Nemo float, had a bug in the software. Sometimes when you hit the e-stop, the float didn't restart very easily. Normally what would happen to restart the float is just someone clears whatever it was that was a problem. Usually it's some kid that ran in front of the float, and they'll hit the drive stop, and usually you get the kid out of the way, get it back on the side of the parade route, pull the drive stop, and then the driver inside hits a reset button and you're ready to roll again. Well, on this float, every once in a while, you press that reset button and nothing would happen. And so this happened one day. I was out on the route. Some kid ran in front of the float. I didn't see it, but one of the people that was walking with me did see it. And they hit the drive stop, and the float stopped, and got everything out of the way, but the float wouldn't reset. So we're out in the middle of the parade route. The whole parade is stopped because my float won't reset. And the lead kept opening up the door into the cabinet, which is a bad idea because we're supposed to preserve the magic here, not let anyone know that there's actually a driver inside that thing. But this lead kept opening the door and trying to reset the thing, wasn't getting any luck. Now I knew a little about this because I'd experimented with this, and I knew what I thought the problem was. Is it was a software problem. And sometimes with a software problem, it isn't just enough to turn off the float and turn it back on. You have to turn it off, leave it off for like a minute to let everything really fully discharge. Then when you turn it back on, the program resets and everything goes back to normal. Well, my lead just kept doing the off, on, back with the float. And of course it wouldn't reset. And so, finally she gave up and said, okay, we're just gonna have to tow the float. So they called the tow and they started working on it. And I said, okay, here's my chance. I'm going to reset the float, do it the right way. I turned the floats off, left it off for about a minute, then turned it back on. It reset right away, and right about the point where they had the float all hooked up to the tow, I got on the radio and called the lead and said, I managed to clear it. I'm ready to roll under my own power. That was the first time as a float driver I actually got an applause from the audience, because after the audience around there was sitting there watching for like 10 minutes while we were trying to clear this thing. When the float started rolling on its own, everyone said, "Yeah," So I got an applause for that. So that was kind of fun. Nothing really serious has ever happened, though, at least not to me. And that was cool. I was able to ramble for like 4 minutes on that one. We need another good question like that. Good morning, Scott. That's the downside of talking so much. I need more vodka. What is it that Matt is watching that? I guess he went to a concert or something like that. That's like a real psychedelic thing going on back there, doesn't it? He's usually just shooting videos of the ocean, but That ain't the ocean. What was my favorite vlog to make? I think the first time I talked about the Waco tornado, because I found so many sites related to it, and I'd done some research on it, and so I knew a few things about it. And so I went to where the memorial was and where those little spinner things were, and uh, and I read that the Dr. Pepper Museum had been damaged in the tornado, and so that was a couple blocks away. So I walked over there. And I was looking at the side of the building. I could see what looked like damage to the building that had been repaired. And I was wondering, I wondered if that was it. And then I went in. I was going to ask somebody, and there was a little thing out in front that was talking about the history of the building, and that one, and it confirmed that yeah, that was the area. It reminded me of Jordan's vlogs, because Jordan's vlogs, I've been on enough of those to know that a lot of times he starts off with a vision like this, and then as he starts digging, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just saw that happen so many times, where he'd go in this direction, and all of a sudden there'd be this whole new avenue that he didn't even realize, and then we go and discuss that, and then he'd find some other little tangent to go off on, and that video kind of reminded me of one of those videos, because it was just a video where it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Where we went to dinner, there's a Mexican place. In fact, you remember when I did the video on that biker gang war that happened at the Twin Peaks place a few years ago, where a bunch of people died, and I went to the location, and there was that Don Carlos restaurant right next to it. Yeah, that's where we went. So that place holds a whole new meaning to me now, because last time I went there was like last Christmas, and I didn't even know that. All I knew is that there was like an abandoned restaurant next door to it, and we and I'd been at the place the night, just a couple of weeks earlier, so that was kind of weird. You like the one about the David Koresh? Yeah, yeah. David Koresh is, like I said, I knew that it was going to have to be something that I'd have to tackle at some point, because it's like one of three things that everybody knows about Waco. Because with Waco, and I didn't even know about the third one, but it's David Koresh and the Branch Davidians, and it's Chip and Joanna Gaines. Everybody knows Waco for that, and of course, then Dr. Pepper was invented here. And so I've basically covered all of those things, because I've been to the Magnolia Silos on a couple of occasions, been to the Cotton Land Palace that the Chip and Joanna bought. Um, I've been to the Branch Davidian site and been to the grave of David Koresh, so I covered that. And of course, I've been to the Dr. Pepper Museum a few times. So I don't know of a vlog that I want to do that I don't know if I'd be able to pull off. There's one I've been sitting on for a long time that I will do at some point. It's a movie location. Oh, what is this? Usually it's my mom, but this is a spam call, so never mind with that. Did you ever drive in the electric? Yes, yes, I drove a number of those floats, and there was a sequel to. You're talking about the Main Street Electrical Parade. I drove a number of those floats, and there was kind of a sequel to that I think it's still kind of floating around at Disneyland, called Paint the Night, and I drove just about everything in that. And the only one I didn't was just because I love it when the telemarketers leave a voicemail message. All the better. The drive-through zoo, that was a good one. Yeah, I had fun doing that one. Oh, the one where some people drowned in the pool and it was all those steps going down. No, that's actually in Fort Worth. That was the Logan's Run video. And I discovered that that was just down in Dallas. So I went, or up in Dallas, I guess, from my perspective. You remember the only downtown tall building? Yeah, well, we actually got a few tall buildings, but the Alico building is definitely the big one in town. I don't think there's anything taller than that. Compound, yeah, that's not how it's done. What's my favorite beer? I'm still drinking the Voodoo Ranger stuff, but I'm always up. If I find something looks interesting, in the store, sometimes it's just, I'll just be intrigued by the label. I'll try it. My friend Matt, who does these things over here, is a big music fan, and he's told me a number of times that he'll just go into record stores sometime back when we had record stores, and he'll thumb through things. And if he finds a cover that looks interesting, even if he knows nothing about the band, he'll buy it because he's intrigued by the cover. So I'm kind of the same way with beer. How's mom doing? Let's see here. I did see she sent me a text message here, so she tends to send me a blast every Saturday night. Okay, she got a grandfather clock that hasn't been working well ever since she moved out of the house, and she had a clocklet maker look at it, and the basically he said that the entire inner workings had to be replaced. So I guess she got it replaced yesterday, and the clock is working really well now. So a couple of little personal things. Saying everybody around her is COVID free now, so she's hoping that will last. She says hi to everyone. Happy Sunday. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay. Yeah, the 12-hour days are long, but it is nice having a minimum of 3 days off every week and maybe 4 days off. So you get used to it, and basically you just kind of work your way through it. I'm tired at the end of the day. I come home, have a beer or something, and then go to bed, and then get up, start over again. That's my work week. 12 and a half hours at work, come home, have a beer, go to bed, get up, start the whole thing over again. Yeah, I ran the mower last weekend. It didn't really cause any problems. What it fell on was just the cover for the blade, so it doesn't get exposed to a lot of heat. And I cleaned it up pretty well, so hopefully that will solve the problem. I've been putting off mowing though because it's just so hot right now. And I've been trying to do it in little patches because the front yard is kind of divided in two parts because there's like a walkway going down the middle, and so you have to do it in the two parts. And then I have the backyard, so technically it's like having three separate lawns. And I've been trying to do one section every week, but I've been putting it off so much. And the front section on this side and the backyard were so overgrown that last week I had to do both sections, and that was really hot. I enjoyed the pool, definitely. Yeah, so are my grandparents, Lorley. Yeah, that was uncalled for. Yep. That's not cool. It's not funny. It's not anything. I do some barbecue. I mean, I'm not a smoking person as much. I do have a smoker and I do it a few times, but I cook out on the barbecue a lot, especially on my weekend. Well, exclusively on my weekend because I don't even eat there during my work week. Come on, everybody got really quiet here. Don't let the trolls scare you off. We call a mountain with hiccups a volcano. That's probably true. I've heard people complain about that too. You know, my pool's gotten up into like 88, 89. That's where it is right now. And I don't know. I guess I guess it'd be more of an issue if I was swimming in it. Usually, what I'm doing is I go into the pool to soak. I don't do any swimming. So, favorite wrestler? I don't really. I've never really watched wrestling. First wrestling match I ever went was this. Yeah, like a hot tub, almost, almost. Did I buy a new pool sweep yet? No, I did not. In fact, I think that may get put off a little bit, and I may make another attempt, probably in today's video, to fix that. The problem is there's that little swivel mount, because since the pool sweep is kind of going back and forth all over in the pool, you don't want to have, just a solid cable because eventually it all gets wrapped around and stuff like that. And so this swivel mount is supposed to be the thing that prevents that from happening. Well, that's where the problem is on that swivel mount. And I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to cut the swivel mount off, reconnect it, make it nice and waterproof, and I'll just have to untwist the cable manually. I think that's probably what the video today that I'm going to do today is going to be. That's a good one to do too because it's something I can bring in here. Bring a couple of sawhorses and a piece of flat lumber in here, and just do it right in here in the nice air conditioning. Not even have to go out in the garage. Well, eventually I'm going to replace the pool sweep, but I really want to get what little gunk there is left. The pump that I put in there that makes the water spin, that has had the desired effect. All the gunk kind of accumulates in the center, and I can just get in there with a net and kind of scoop it out. But there's still some stuff in there that it isn't large enough mass wise to be picked up by the currents when it's spinning. And so it kind of just accumulates all over the pool. And I'd really like to get the sweep in there to get that thing out. And I'm pretty sure I can just cut the swivel mount thing off, reconnect the wire, make it waterproof. I've got a weird idea how to do that, but I've done it before in other applications, and I think I can make it work. So honestly, what I'm doing is I'm using the clear cement that you use for gluing PVC together. It's a good waterproof thing. And what I've done is, if I got something I want to be waterproof, what I'll do is I'll make the connection, and then I'll dip it in this PVC cement stuff, stretch it out, let it dry, and it kind of forms like its own insulation all around it, and that works really well. And then I'm going to put some like shrink wrap tubing on it and seal that, and put some more shrink wrap tubing on there, and I think that'll work really well. It's DC voltage in there, and I think we determined it was like what 30 or 40 volts, so it's not a whole lot of voltage. And generally, I'm not in the pool when the sweep is in there anyway. So yeah, I agree with you, Peg Tooth. Except one thing, it's not trolls; it's one guy. In fact, Jordan was on here last week talking about this same guy. We know what his name is. He posted something, a message to me directly on Facebook, a year and a half ago. It was really homophobic, and it's just that's just who this guy is. Well, I mean, Flash hasn't complained a lot. I see her, bebopping around the yard all the time. So, well, from my understanding, this guy is the same guy that went after Jacob the carpetbagger, and I guess he started stalking this guy's kids at school. He was, I guess he was like taking photographs of them and sending them to Jacob and trying to call Jacob's boss and get him fired, stuff like that. Not in Texas, it isn't, David. Yeah, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, remember you mentioning that, Rhonda. Well, I mean, reporting him doesn't do any good, Peg, because he's got dozens and dozens of accounts. So every time he posts something here, I block him. So you can never see him again. But he just goes and logs in under a different account. I've mentioned this before. I wish YouTube gave me the ability to block an IP address, because to figure out what this guy's IP address and just block anything that comes from that address. That would put him out of business right away. Well, I honestly think he just thinks he's being funny, but it isn't. He's an idiot. He's a loser. He's living in his mom's basement, I'm sure. Spending half the time cleaning spit spots off of his computer monitor. Yeah, I think you're right, David. I think he's not all there upstairs. Am I still adding to my DVD collection? Yeah, if I find something. I mean, there's not a whole lot of new movies that I'm really into. Movies are getting too woke for me, but every once in a while I find something that it's been on my list for a long time to get, and every once in a while I find one of those. People may think I'm crazy, but there was a cool sci-fi movie I thought called Time Cop, and I've been looking for that for a long time. I found that recently. Do I have any Eastwood Dirty Harry movies? I got a collection of all the Dirty Harry movies. Never was really into his westerns as much. I know I probably should give him more of a chance because Clint Eastwood is a great actor. Oh, come on, Norton. I turned you off. You're not supposed to be throwing pop-ups. Yeah, I just found Time Cop on Amazon. It was actually cheap. Been watching British TV. About the only British TV I like is like Monty Python. But I know who started the term woke. It came from the left. They started describing themselves that way. But as to who used the term first, I don't know. Dozens of accounts. Are you sure it's the same person? Yeah, pretty much. Because usually what they do is they come in little waves, and he'll do one, he'll get blocked, then he'll log on another one, do another one, get blocked, and you'll see two or three different at once. And then he'll run out of accounts or get bored and moved on. And then there's other times that we don't have any trolls at all for weeks and weeks and weeks. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Yeah, I can't confirm or deny that, David. I don't know where the term came from. I don't know. I don't know if he coined the phrase "okie dokie" though, because I knew that term before that. Do your worst, Rhonda. Do your worst. He left a message saying his kids were killed in a car wreck. I heard his kids were taken away from him. That's what Jordan was saying last week when he was on the live stream. Jordan's been battling this guy too, and he's good. He's at much higher levels of going after this guy than I am. I'm still just a block him and tease him and insult him. What am I doing for July 4th? I don't know yet. I do not know. It's maybe just hang out here. I don't know. They're talking about shutting down the plant for like a week coming up. They haven't given us an exact date. We're switching over to some new project management software, and they need a few days to kind of do the transition to get everything up and working. And so they're going to shut down the facility while this is happening. And I may very well, just take some time off and go see what I can see. In the 70s in Amarillo, it's raining in Amarillo. It's hard to believe there's a 30-degree difference. I mean, I suppose that's possible here. What was that? Okay, that's something from Jeff. Let's go look at the radar. That's where I want to go. Pull up the phone here to do something. I forget what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, there is some rain coming through Amarillo right now. A little north of you. It's funny that it's that much colder though. Road trip, maybe. Does Waco have lawn watering restrictions this summer? No, not so far. The yard is doing well right now. All those lantana plants that I planted, they're doing really well. In fact, um, there was one that I didn't fully remove from the yard. It started growing again, and so there's actually, I think I put 20 of those things in that section, and there's actually a 21st one now that's growing. Too expensive for road trips. I've been thinking about, with the whole California trip I did a few months ago, really kind of opened up my mind to driving a little bit. And it's maybe, in the past, my whole perspective is if I'm going to drive somewhere, 100, 150 miles, that's about my limit. But it's always been kind of focused on go there, do something, come back the same day. Seeing that, I made like, 500 miles in like, 8 or 9 hours, I could take one of my long weekends, for instance, drive on Sunday, skip the live stream, drive on Sunday, go do, hang around someplace on Monday and Tuesday, drive back on Wednesday, and get a few vlogs out of it. I've actually thought about doing that. That might happen. And if we're going to have maybe an extended period of time off because they're shutting the facility down, that might be an opportunity for that too. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota. That's nice. Too windy to be on the lake. Okay, well, can't have everything, I guess. Yeah, all the time, Laura Lee. Okay, so is that first one is you or not you? Okay, we're gonna see if this gets rid of all three of you or just him. If not, we'll fix that. Okay. Yeah, if that happens to you, if he's copying your account, let us know immediately and we'll block it. If it isn't, I can unblock it really quick. That's just that's what he's doing now. What a bonehead. If you put this much effort into actually making an entertaining vlog, he could probably be supporting himself on this. Hey, Mark. Well, Jeff was actually mentioning something, and when I was reading the instructions actually had three different kind of models of engine for the lawnmower, and one of them I noticed had this funny little rubber hose that clipped to the side of the motor. And basically, what happens when you want to drain the oil, you just unclip it, unscrew the thing, and it drains into the oil receptacle. And I think I'm going to contact the manufacturer and see if I can get one of those that'll fit my motor. Yeah, it's too bad he doesn't get paid trolling. Yep, you can copy someone else's YouTube account and use it. That is true. I don't know. Jeff may be at church. He replied to me on Facebook. I saw that here. I think. Let's see. Okay, he said that little hose thing that I mentioned that I should talk to him about it because there's a flaw with him. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, I know he's all right because he responded. I responded to his comment on the video, and he replied to me through Facebook in the last hour or two. So yeah, well, like I said, he's got nothing better to do with his life than that. Sounds like he's a really kind of a disturbed individual. You like the stroganoff recipe? Yeah, that was a good one. I know. I think I've done beef stroganoff before. I sometimes worry that people can get bored seeing different things of the different versions of the same recipe over and over again. But there's things I like and things I don't like, and so I'm going to make the things that sound good to me, and maybe that means I do similar recipes more than once. But that's okay. You can try multiple ones and decide which one you like best. Yeah, I mean, all we can do is hope this guy gets help. Where are the cats now? I don't know. That's a good question for you, Rhonda. There's Bite. I see Bite peering around the corner. He heard the kitty treat jar. And made him work for it. It ended up behind the pillow, and he had to get in there with his paw and try and find it. I'm hoping maybe the sound of the kitty treats going down the hall will inspire Nibble to come out, but probably not. Mike got a few though. Hello, Gene. Yep, you're going to get that every time, Rhonda. Oh, I see Nibble peering around the corner now too. Let's see if we can get her to pop out a little bit here. I made it too easy for you. That ended right in your lap there, Nibble. See if we can arc one over Bite here. Get it to her. No, Bite stole that one. Always a gentleman. Oh well. Let's see. Put my eyes back on here so I can see. You nicknamed your kittens the Toxic Twins. That's awesome. When was the last time it rained here? It's been a while. It's been a few weeks. Cats always want treats. These two do, absolutely. Let's see, Bite's over here behind the couch here, so maybe we can get one to nibble here. And of course, my backhand sucks, so Of course, there is one trick that I can pull that bite can't combat. You know what that is, bite? Cluster treats. Can't get them all. Nibble's got to get a few of them. And I dropped one on the floor here too, so. And Nibble got a few of them, but Bite's getting most of them. That's the way it works sometimes. Are the treats good for them? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably. Yeah, I think these are more focused on treats than vitamins. Oh, the girls were in the pool yesterday, huh? Do I ever go out and look at the stars? Yeah, sometimes. There's supposedly kind of a cool planetary alignment going on right now, where a whole bunch of the planets are all kind of in a line on the sky. Do I eat dinner at work? No, I don't usually eat dinner at all. I have lunch, and that's usually it. I've been down to 2 meals a day since my 20s. Yeah, that is a telescope. It's little more than a toy. You can see Jupiter and a couple of its moons. You can see Saturn and its rings, but in terms of being a very powerful telescope, it isn't. I'd actually like to get a really nice telescope at some point, but the good ones are mega pricey. Yeah, I bet you can see the northern lights from time to time. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of nearby restaurants at work. That isn't the issue. I'm not really a restaurant person. I don't go out very much. In fact, when I was doing all the restaurant reviews, that was really kind of unusual. And largely it started, I think, because um, in the first week or so, I had nothing in the house. I had an inflatable bed, a sleeping bag, some pillows, and there wasn't much in the house. A little folding chair, my TV. Because it's basically what I brought with me in the car. And what I brought with me in the car, was the computer. That was important, of course, for me. Um, the plants, Jordan, but there just wasn't really that much. So I had to do restaurants for a while. Yeah, I guess I can imagine that restaurants would be difficult with food restrictions. Well, it's nice to be hotter than 80 degrees if you get a pool. That's really nice to be out in the pool when it's nice and warm out. Here we go again. First thing he's got to do is he's got to learn when he comes up with these really bizarre names, that immediately is going to catch people's attention. Or at least it catches mine. it automatically makes me, because I mean, you look at the names on the screen here. Most of them are pretty common. They're here every time, and you see some strange, bizarre name come in, and immediately I'm going to think, oh, here we go, another troll. The girls want to know if I'm going to see the new Minions movie. I've never seen the old Minions movie, so no, probably not. I'm not really a movie person, although a lot of people have been telling me I need to go see the new Top Gun and the last Jurassic Park movie. And so I guess I could see myself going to see one of those at some point. Yeah, I guess I didn't get that reference, Peg. So he's spending a lot of time impressing himself. You're looking for well, they seem to be all over the place at Home Depot during Christmas. So just wait till then. I bet you could find one on YouTube too, or not on YouTube, on Amazon. Yeah, there's several good-sized theaters in Waco. I'm sure I could find the movie. Drive-in. Wow, you still got drive-ins? See, I've been thinking, there's so much kind of a retro interest that somebody ought to actually do a drive-in. We could do a drive-in today using modern Bluetooth technology for the audio, and you could, play the music through the speakers very easily. Just give somebody a Wi-Fi password or something like that, log on to Bluetooth or onto a local network. That'd be very easy because if it's something you could, sync to your cell phone, then pair your phone to the sound system in your car. I think that it'd be a big investment, but I bet you there'd be enough retro interest in that people would do it. Yeah, well, that'll be another angle for if you're petrified of COVID, stay in your car and watch a movie. Like I said, the technology has improved so much now. Power your cell phone by the car, pair up this, stream the audio to your phone and through your Bluetooth to your speakers in your car. It'd be so easy. I haven't been in a movie theater in I don't know how long. I can't remember the last movie I saw. Pink eye, that's no good. Yeah, exactly. Play over the radio and you're okay. So they're broadcasting like a FM signal. The only problem with that is, you want to kind of keep the amplitude low, and so if you don't have good antennas throughout the whole area, then you end up, with dead spots and stuff like that. What you do is you put some little app on the internet for your movie theater, And when you get a ticket, your ticket has a little barcode on it. You scan the barcode, and that's your access to the audio for the movie. Piece of cake. Yeah, all the drive-ins that I was aware of in Southern California are long gone. And I haven't seen any drive-in theaters here either. There's still one in Concord, huh? Hmm. I would need the funds to do it though. Setting up a drive-in, that's a big task. I'd be happy with somebody else taking it up and just giving me credit for the idea. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too, Peg, when they mentioned Pink Eye, the South Park episode. One of the many times that Kenny dies. Isn't that the one where he dies and they embalm him with Worcestershire sauce and turns into a zombie? I saw a T-shirt that said "R.I.P. Kenny." Right. Okay. Charlotte has a refill for me, huh? Okay. Refill me up. Fill me up, Charlotte. All right. Thank you. Yeah, back when South Park was funny. Now it's just The Simpsons. I think South Park was funnier though for a lot longer than The Simpsons were. Simpsons stopped being funny after I don't know 6 or 7 seasons. Never seen a South episode. Yeah, it's an acquired taste. It's raunchy cartoon humor. So of course I love it. You haven't heard Bite meowing? He was meowing a little bit at the beginning. He's probably back in his room taking a nap now. He's uh he's got kitty. He's got kitty treat coma right now. He's probably sleeping it off. Family Guy has its moments too. I don't think it's as funny as South Park. But I got to admit, I haven't watched any of those shows in a long time. I gave up TV. Cut the cable about a year ago, and hadn't really been watching it a lot even before that, which is sort of why which is why I got rid of it in the first place. Why should I be paying for something I'm not using? Logan's falling asleep, huh? Yeah, I would, really like it if I could find some streaming service that had everything. But right now, everything, it's going to, to Paramount, and everyone has their own streaming service now. And I don't know, it's just there's not enough on any one of them that would make me want to stream it. If somebody had everything, then I would definitely subscribe to that. But she has a spoon in her hand and doing the head bob, huh? All right. The bite is sleeping. He's like, he's having dreams about treats. That may very well be true. I can't imagine what else he'd dream about except eating. Yeah, but the problem with Tubi though is it's advertising. I'm not really into advertising. I know it's funny. I make money off of advertising. You're probably watching advertising to watch this, and yet I'm not a fan. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah, lots of older shows on it. For the most part, if there's a show though that I liked enough that I want to watch it over and over again, I'll just go out and buy the DVD or something of it. There's a few shows that go that way. I recently found a good cop or good deal on the entire Monsters series. I've been binge watching the Monsters lately. Do I make a lot on ads? No, not really. This I've said this before. This has never really been about making money. I kind of enjoy it, and I get other things that are more valuable to me from doing it. So that's cool. That's why you don't really see me like pushing for, hey, I got a Patreon account. Hey, send me money on PayPal. Hey, all that stuff. I don't, it's never really been that big a thing. Yeah, I have a Patreon account. Yeah, I have a PayPal account. There's links on the homepage of YouTube if you're interested. But like I said, it's not really what this is about. How's the job? Job is doing great. Yeah, I'm getting to do all sorts of different things. It keeps it interesting. They got me kind of training to be, there's a couple of key roles in the department, and they got me training to be like the backup for each of those, so that when somebody is out, I can take over and run the thing. So that keeps it interesting because it's something different every day. It gets boring doing the same thing. Even if you love it, it gets old after a while, at least maybe for me. Yeah, I don't have any say about what the ads are. On the live streams, I can usually, well, when I record the live streams for playback, I always make them go live after a few hours, uh, and I can set where the ads are. And the reason I kind of wait and don't just have them go live immediately after the live stream, which I could do, is because when YouTube puts ads in them, they put way, way, way too many ads in the video. You'll get an ad every 3 minutes on the live streams if I let YouTube do it. And of course, yeah, that would build my ad revenue, but it'd probably chase a whole bunch of people off too. You got 40, 50 ads in a 2 hour live stream. That's insane. I wouldn't even watch that. So I go in, I want to go in and dump all that before I make them go live. So I wait for YouTube to plug in all their ads, and I go in and delete them all. And I put one about every 15 minutes. I also try and set it up so it doesn't interrupt in the middle of a thought too, because I can kind of see where I'm talking and where it's quiet when I look at the video. And so, I'll find some place where, I'm not talking for a second, a couple seconds, try to drop the ads there. Because I hate it when I'm watching a video and right in the middle of a sentence, right in the middle of a thought that drops an ad. And it's like, man, you just completely destroyed the flow of what was going on. Rhonda's running the self checkout. So, okay, all right. I always wondered if I use the self checkouts, do I get an employee discount? Do I make more if someone clicks? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, you know, I just assume that everyone skips past them. You have YouTube Premium, okay? Well, the money you pay for your for that, some of that comes to me from what you watch. So you don't like the vlogs that have sponsors? Yeah, I know. Sometimes, you know, the sponsored ones get a little go a little overboard. Yeah, yeah. The income I receive changes month to month, but depending on how well my videos are watched. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I appreciate that too. That so many people you come back week after week to watch me. It's like why? What's so interesting? But I know you guys are friends with each other too. I sit here and watch the conversations you guys are having with each other. That's also sometimes where why when I can't do a live stream, if I'm at work or something like that, I'll go and just leave the live stream on because I know you guys will just talk to each other. Yeah, I remember Little House on the Prairie. That was a great show when I was a kid. Yeah, I know. I can imagine that too. About the only thing I'll do ad wise, is I'll mention I'm going to Home Depot. I do that all the time. I really wish, I really hope at some point that Home Depot is gonna recognize me and say, hey, you give us so much free advertisement, and, we're gonna give you a discount or something. That would be great. That's exactly right, Rhonda, and I feel that too. And I mean, every time I talk to my mom, she talks about Charlotte and Logan and how happy she is being their nana. Why does a troll even come? Because he's a troll. He thinks he's being funny. It comes from the fact he probably never got spanked as a kid. He's one of those kids that was always getting in trouble, and then when you know an adult would look at him sideways, he'd get his big grin like, "You see what I did?" And then see that makes me happy that a lot of people become friends because of this channel. Yeah, I worry about that, but you know, if he does, it's going to be a big problem because this is Texas and we got guns here. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. You're probably right, Tracy. Yeah, I agree with you, Lorelei. Bullies are losers. So are trolls. Bullies are usually people that are insecure themselves. Maybe you got spanked so much you liked it. No, come on over, troll. I'll spank you. You won't like it though. I guarantee it. Talking is one of the things you do best. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of an introvert myself, so I have a 9 millimeter. I have a shotgun. YouTube really gets triggered, pardon the expression, about gun talk. So I don't want to talk too much about that. One of the things that you have to do when you upload a video is discuss, say, is there any like violence? Is there any drug use? Is there any, in this kind of video, in this video you produce? And one of the things is you're not allowed to even talk about guns or they'll demonetize it. Charlotte asked if it's cold enough. No, not anymore. It's getting a little warm. We've been going for 80 minutes now, so not that cold anymore, Charlotte. It was when it came out of the refrigerator. I went to a lot of concerts early on. Yeah, my friend Matt, who oh, looks like his stream stopped here. My friend Matt was really into music, and so he got me into a lot of things. And I went to a lot of concerts with him, and I'm glad I did too. I saw a lot of great bands. I have never seen Stranger Things. Everybody talks about it, but I've never seen it. My favorite TV show, I think the one that I keep watching over and over again is Entourage. But I got Quantum Leap, I got the A Team, I got all that on DVD. Twin Peaks, that was a great one. Married with Children, I got that. I got some Simpsons, I got some South Park. Are there any zoos near me? Yeah, there's the Cameron Park Zoo. I did a vlog on that a couple years ago. Right when I came, it would have been the first summer I came to Texas. It's already been more than 3 years since I came to Texas. That's weird. I watched Dallas a little bit. I never saw Dynasty. Never saw 30 something. Yeah. All right. One way to get blocked is to say the same thing over and over again. You have them both on DVD. Yeah. Hey, VNA. You went to high school with John Cusack and Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven was on Entourage. He was great on that. The Ari Gold, super agent. You put it on the Facebook page. That's cool. I went to high school with members of my favorite band called The Offspring. They're an Orange County band, and I went to high school with the singer, the bass player, and the guitar player. Arnold's in your town right now, filming for 3 months. That's cool. Yeah, it blew my mind when I looked him up in the yearbook and saw the singer Dexter Holland. He didn't go by Dexter though. He had some. It was some other name. You think I should unblock Justin? I don't know. It's just sometimes that's a sign of something else. He didn't really say anything wrong, but he just kept posting the same thing over and over again. Okay. All right. I'll unblock him. It seemed a little suspicious, but I'll unblock him. We'll give him another shot. If you're still there, Justin, sorry, we've been having a problem with trolls, but I've unblocked you again. So we'll try. We'll give it a shot. Been doing daily uploads and there's a history of 9 years. Okay. Yeah. All right. He's unblocked, so we'll hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully he'll understand that we've had problems with a real troll, and you never know. Yeah, he has like some sort of a podcast called "Living with Jeremy Piven." I've never watched it, but he only has 4 subscribers. That doesn't mean anything. If he's been posting videos for 9 years and he's posting them daily, that maybe isn't a troll. I'm guessing that when you watch this back, there'll have been an ad in that little break here because I usually put one every 15 minutes. and we just hit the hour 30 mark here, and there was a big pause right there. So may have just seen an ad. It's raining in Winnipeg now, huh? Yeah, I supposedly get to a place where the ads are, and I usually try and put them at every 15 minutes and find some little space where there's no talking going on. I don't know how well because I don't play back and watch my live streams, but it's a good chance to drink some water here. Who attended his mother's acting school, the Piven School Workshop, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know anything about anyone but him. Hey, Black Dot's here. How you doing? What's on the menu tonight? I don't know. I've been eating hamburgers a lot lately. I bought a big thing of ground beef a couple weeks ago and cut it up into probably half-pound patty sizes, frozen. So I just pull one out and let it thaw for a few hours, and on the grill it goes. Doing chicken wings, huh? Wonder if Bite will get a belly rub. I don't know. Bite would have to come out for a belly rub. I don't know if he's up to that. There we go. There's Jeff. No, just ground beef, whatever comes in the HEB packages. Oh, you're right. I forgot to turn the blinking lights on. Well, it's not too late. We can do that. Let's see if we can find a good pattern. You like that pattern? I got this, and that. I don't know. What do you think? All sorts of different things that you can do here. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll do that for today. Yeah, there's so many things I got to do to set up the live streams, and sometimes I forget. Jeff can't hear because he's in the restaurant. Okay, I get it. That's how they usually that's how it usually works. He gets done with church, he goes home, probably changes clothes, and goes out to eat, get something to eat. See, I can talk to Jeff too. Need a producer. Ain't that the truth? But I have to pay a producer, and you know, I guess I just got to produce. I probably just need to have like a checklist. Okay, flag check, Laser lights, check. Water, check. Matt's live stream is running in the background. Well, maybe not. Glowing skull, check. Caps, check. Yeah, right. Of course, in the case of the cats, it's cats, check, cats, uncheck, cats, check, cats, uncheck. One cat, check. Zero cats. Flash, check. Yeah. Flash doesn't appear on the live streams that much, though. Lights now match the tie-dye couch. That was my plan. As the pool is the temp, how I like it. Yeah, it's in the upper 80s. It's like 88 right now. So some people say they don't like to swim in it, but I don't go into the pool to swim. I go into the pool to just kind of soak. So it's perfect. You know, you don't. There's none of the shock that comes with getting into it. It's like, for a second until your body acclimates us. Can I show you Flash? I don't know where Flash is at the moment. I'd have to go out and find her. Yeah, I mean, she's been in the house a couple times. Uh, she'd get into the house periodically in California, and in fact, if you watch, Beth posted a video once when Flash was still living there of Flash opening up her sliding glass door to get into the house. I got a video coming up in a couple days. I think it comes up on Tuesday, where I put a GoPro on Flash. We talked about this a little bit last week, and I actually did it on Sunday. Figured out a way to strap a GoPro to her and just kind of let her loose in the yard. So you're going to get to see a flash eye view of the yard and what she does to entertain herself. -74 degrees in Tacoma, up to 88. That's summer weather. Shoe cords? No, I don't think she would. I mean, she's never been in the house, um, long enough to do that. But I don't. She tends to chew on things that she thinks she can eat, and I don't think she'd be fooled by a cord into thinking that's maybe, hey, that looks good. I can't imagine Jordan stopping vlogging. He's so good at it, and he really enjoys doing it. So, I don't know anything at this point, but I would say he's going to continue vlogging for the foreseeable future. Like I said, he's so good at it. He has so much fun doing it. So, yeah, I don't expect that to change. Yeah, well, rabbits, that's a different thing. Rabbits chew everything. Jordan's video today was amazing. Jordan's video just about every day is amazing. I mean, I don't watch vlogs a whole lot that much anymore, but when I watched them when I was watching them really regularly, I knew I could look at it and say, okay, I'm not really interested in that subject, but you know what? I'm going to watch it anyway because I know it'll be great, and it always was. Jordan just has an excitement and an enthusiasm that shows in every video he does, and that's what makes him so entertaining to watch. And I don't know how you tell the age of a rabbit. With dogs, they'll often look at the teeth, but rabbits are rodents, and rodents' teeth never stop growing. That's why they're chewing, is because they gotta keep them gnawed down. Like the JFK video, that is still the most popular. The number one and number two videos I've ever done are that series. The number one video is the one where I traced Oswald from the Texas Book Depository into the movie theater he was captured in, and the number two video is the one where I went in Oswald's jail cell. They eclipse everything else I've ever done. And those still get decent views. I mean, just this morning somebody was commenting on it. I knew when I shot those videos I was going to get a lot of argument from people over conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And there is a lot of that, and a lot of people come in here and say, "Yeah, what you said is complete fiction." It's like, you know what? Whatever. I knew that was going to come. I know there's thousands of opposing viewpoints of what happened on that, and I just kind of made a point. I'm not going to even comment on that one, but let people argue it out. I don't know what the answer is. I didn't research it enough to know what all the conspiracy theories are. So I just I just told the story from the point of the official record. And if that's what happened, then that's what happened. If you don't believe that's what happened, then great. If nothing else, you can look at my video of retracing his steps on that day and determine whether you think he could have done what he said, what he's accused of doing. I don't know entirely that he couldn't have. I mean, I made the trip. It's 10 miles or so, 10 or 15 miles from the Texas Book Depository to the rooming house. It was a mile or so from the rooming house to the movie theater. It seemed to me it's all plausible. The JFK vlog was fun though, just because because the whole thing getting to go into his jail cell. That was just so unexpected. That was another one of those. Remember, I was talking a little earlier about videos that I did that I was proud of because it started off with this and then it turned into this and turned into this. That was one of those videos because I was hoping, I was hoping just that I could go see the room that Oswald was shot in that building. And so when I turn around, all of a sudden I'm staring at the jail cell that he was held in, and then a second later, the guy opens the glass, says, "You want to go in?" And it's like, "Oh heck yes!" Did I ever read Stephen King's book about JFK? Honestly, I was a huge Stephen King fan, and I have the book, but I kind of got out of fiction before I read it. So I've got a hard copy of the book, but I've never read it. Too many tinfoil hats. Yeah, and I don't know if we'll ever know what happened. I mean, I looked out the window of the Texas Book Depository, from and you could still even in the when I did it, you could still see the marks on the ground from that window where the shots were taken. So, is it possible? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Yeah, because I don't think anyone can get into that jail cell anymore. It's behind glass now. I would suspect by now that it's been turned into a museum because they were in the process of building a museum at the time I was there. And, I would assume, it's been, 2 years plus since I did that. And that was a suggestion from Jordan. Jordan said, "Yeah, you got to go do JFK." I said, "Okay." I did that. I did that whole video in all three of those videos in one day. You do audiobooks when you're baking. That's a good thing to do. I listen to Mark Levin on his podcast. So and of course, in that same video, I got to see the mugshot window where both he and Jack Ruby were photographed. People get their pictures taken ducking down the grassy knoll. Have I ever seen the Wiggles? No, I don't know what that is. No, I don't have TV anymore. I cut the cable about a year ago. I mean, I didn't really cut the cable because I'm still using it for internet, but I got TV when I came to Texas, and I think in the entire time I'd been here between when I got here and when I cut the cable, I think I'd had the TV on three times, and two of those times were me testing to make sure the connection worked. So I just figured, uh, why am I paying for something I'm not using? Wiggles sounds like a brand of fishing bait. Yeah, you're right. Kids drive TV will drive you crazy. Yeah, I can imagine. What's my internet provider? I get it through Spectrum Cable. No, there's not an aerial on the roof. I don't have any TV. I just I've got a really healthy DVD Blu-ray collection, and I'll stream from Netflix or stuff like that, but not really interested in anything else. If it's something I'm interested, I'll go buy the DVD. I wouldn't even be able to tell you what's on TV anymore. Like I said, I don't watch it. There's a loud explosion outside, so you may have to leave soon. Let us know what's happening. Brad is sanding drywall, getting ready to paint a room, and got this running in the background. That's cool. Have a good weekend too, Brad. We got another 10 or 15 minutes to go, so maybe a car crashed into a hydrant again. Is that a regular event at your place, Peg? A lot of kids' TV and YouTube. All right. Well, I'm glad to be a part of that. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some rain too. Yeah, I'm tired of this 100-degree weather. I mean, it's nice to be, it's nice for the pool because the pool's nice and warm. But yeah, yeah, same here, Tracy. If I want news, I'll go online and find it. Most of the news you get on TV is so hopelessly biased one way or the other anyway. I like to go to news sources I actually know and trust. There ain't very many of those right now. Great. So they're taking the corner too fast and taking out the hydrant so much that they put poles in there, huh? That's crazy. The girls watch me over and over and over again. Thank you, Charlotte and Logan. That means a lot to me. And I will. I'll tell Nana that you miss her. She commented a couple days ago. She finally got the pictures I sent of the girls, and she was very happy to have that. So, when was the last time you got into the pool? Last Wednesday. I don't go. I don't get in the pool on work nights. Yeah, I get stream news, but there's not an interest in doing that really. Logan's awake again. All right. Have a good nap, Logan. Jeff checked out when he because the food came. He was hungry. Yeah, I bet. Okay, Black Dot's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Black Dot. It was good talking to you. Yeah, that's a good question. What's for lunch? We haven't talked about food enough on this live stream yet. How are the pool lights? Honestly, I don't keep them in the pool that much. So uh, they're basically just sitting on the kitchen table in here. It's one of those things, when I'm out in the pool by myself, I don't necessarily need to have the lights on. I actually kind of prefer it dark when I'm in the pool. Bring the block rocker out, turn on some music kind of low, and bring a beer out there and just kind of chill for a while. Lemon butter chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans. That sounds good. Want some tacos for lunch? Tacos sound good too. We can talk about food because Jeff's here. Yeah, I guess so. Is restaurant food better than in Texas or California? It's different. They focus on different things. There's more of a Western feel to restaurants here. There's a lot more barbecue here than there is in California. Um, Mexican food, which is one of my favorite things, tends to be Tex-Mex. I'm not as into that. You know, it's when you make like burritos or something like that, it's gotta have refried beans in it, not chili. That just doesn't do it for me. It's hard to find authentic Mexican food. You ever notice trolls hate recipes and gardening tips? I hadn't noticed that. I mean, I've noticed that when I do cooking vlogs, they don't get the views that other videos do, but they generally get more comments, which is weird. So the people who are into them are more engaged and more likely to reply. But a video that'll do really well, won't get very many comments. But like I said, you go look at like when I did the beef stroganoff a few days ago. Go look at all the comments that are on that one compared to a video that had more views. Still doing the Voodoo Ranger. That's kind of my go-to right now. I stick with one thing for a little while unless I find something else that's really interesting. You tend to get kind of the same kinds of things at the grocery store. So unless I go to like a brewery or something like that, and find something there, but It's not uncommon for me to just get beer at the liquor store or at a grocery store, and they tend to have the same stuff. The toxic twins are awake again. That sounds like fun. Oh, is Tracy checking out? Oh yeah, I guess so. Sometimes I get too busy talking. I'm not reading the comments. Okay, see you, Scott. Yeah, we're almost done here anyway. I got a few more minutes and then we're done. Pizza is one of my favorite things. That's one of those things that I will go out and get something because you can buy frozen pizzas in the freezer section at the grocery store, but they're never as good as one that's fresh baked. Yeah, they're paying the bill. Okay, so I'll be outside and you can hear you again just in time for the live stream to end. Guess Jeff will just have to watch it on. I don't even know why that one was hidden. So yeah, there you go. Jeff's gonna have a live stream tonight. What time, Jeff? Get everyone to get everyone to check in and say hi. Need to find our pizza recipe. I tried pizza. It was all right, but uh, not as good as I'd like it to be. Yeah, you're still waiting for that answer from Jeff. I wonder if he can't hear us yet, if he's still paying in the restaurant. Let's take the direct approach. Sometimes he can read it better than he can hear it. You think it's at 8? Okay, is that 8 his time? It was a store here that sells cheap pizza crust. It's the best pizza crust ever, huh? 8 Eastern time. Okay, so that's 7 hour time. So about 6 hours from now, figure out what that is. They'll be starting in about 6 hours. That way, everybody anywhere in the world can say, okay, well, what is it going to be 6 hours from now? All right, that's when Jeff will be on. I've seen all the craziness in Florida with Disney. Yeah, I'll just say I'm glad I escaped the mouse and leave it with that. Has anyone ever tried those Boboli pizza crusts? Those are all right. Yeah, that makes me laugh, John, that the Disney's actually advertising on my channel. You're glad I did too. I seem much happier. Yeah, my mom notices that too. She says she doesn't like, she wishes I didn't move away, but she's got to acknowledge that I'm much happier here. I just like the people better. I like the environment better. I like my job better. Does Flash sleep in at daytime? I think she's a little late in the morning getting up. But basically she'll kind of chill. She's cold blooded, so she doesn't have the ability to regulate her body temperature. So what ends up happening is if it gets too hot, then she has to find some place to go and hide and cool off. And that's what the cave is all about, is giving her a place to kind of escape the heat a little bit. Or she'll just find some shady place and pull into a corner somewhere. A couple days ago, I looked and she found a corner and she just kind of buried herself under some leaves. Wouldn't even have noticed if her little tail wasn't sticking out there in the back. You notice a lot of people in Texas are from other states. I hear all the time of people that are from California here. Because there's a big part of that happening. A lot of people are leaving the California, New York states and coming to Texas and Florida and that kind of stuff. And I mean, I remember from the other end too. My neighbor from across the street in my house in California, about a year before I left, they sold their house and moved to Texas. And I told them at the time, yeah, I'm thinking about doing the same thing, and eventually it happened. It was a big choice, though, just picking up and moving somewhere else. But it just worked out really well. You're going to move to Houston to be near family. All right. Houston's a nice place. It's right on the Gulf. Streets of LA after dark look like a zombie apocalypse. Ain't that the truth? Especially at the end. Yeah, no, no wife, Charlotte. I'm too boring. I was a little nervous, but I had faith in my abilities that, if I could find a job where, I had a manager that actually cared and wanted me to be successful, that I could prove it because I'd done it before. And I just needed somebody that was willing to give me a shake. And Disney wasn't willing to do it, but my current boss was. It took me 9 months to find that job, but you know, everything's on track right now. VNA's checking out. So yeah, we're gonna be checking out here too. We've been going for 2 hours. So anyone have anything else to say? Otherwise, we'll pull the plug on this and try again next week. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, definitely do that, Brad. All right, so I think this is a good place to end this one. Thanks everyone for watching. I had fun on this one. I'll see you next week, and stay tuned for the new videos. Like I said, I got a video on Tuesday coming out where I put a GoPro on flash. On Thursday, I got a video coming out that I was actually pretty cool. There's a prison, state penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas, and right next to it, there's this warehouse that had a fire like 25 years ago in it. And ever since then, a colony of bats has taken over this place. And every night, between 850,000 and 1 million bats come out of this warehouse. And last week I went and saw that and got incredible footage of all that. So stay tuned. That's on Thursday, and Tuesday is a day in the life of Flash. So hope you enjoy those, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.